So I think in June, on another topic, you published a research report on CICD. What's going on there in that report?
Yeah. So in that report, we did a couple things. We took an interesting look at CICD. We wanted to understand the relationship of software delivery and design, whether you're using TDD, BDD, the Ds.
Yeah,
and
sure.
how that impacts
Test-driven development, behavior-driven development. Yeah.
And then we also looked at the relationship of software delivery techniques and effects. One of the things that we definitely have seen over the past 3 to 5 years is there's increasing adoption of CI/CD, which you would expect. There's a lot more adoption of CI than CD at this point. And I think that is the result of CD isn't always needed. You don't always need to be continuously delivering software. It's aspirational, I think, for some people. One thing we saw was there's definitely interest in an increase of adoption of repository-based CI/CD. So like GitHub Actions, GitLab, we're starting to see people actually using those services, which is interesting because you're like offloading the CI/CD into a managed service.
Yeah.
And I think one of the things that we looked at too was how seriously do people take test-driven development or test coverage of their code, and how does that correlate with their rollback incidents? And I think some of the findings there weren't surprising. It was just like, yeah, the more test coverage you have, the less likely you are to roll back your code. I think what was more interesting in the CI/CD report was the editorial components. And we had a bunch of different pretty good articles really good articles written by people in the industry. We looking at things like observability and AI ops, CI/CD security. Now, obviously with cloud native architectures and hybrid architectures becoming more, security is a rising concern, and integrating security, pushing it left with all the testing and stuff is becoming more of a concern. So there was a really good article about the kind of modern CI/CD security landscape in the report.
Yeah.
And then we looked at infrastructure as code and like, where can you automate infrastructure? And rather than me trying to tell you the takeaways from those articles, I would encourage people to go download it, read it, because it's a really good report and it gives a pretty good idea of one of the types of things that people can do right now to either begin their CI/CD journey or accelerate.